which ends up falling just a little bit awry, going into the 6-yard box, but nothing more. And the rule 1 broken.
Uh-oh. Watch out for that. But K-Corp, this is what they do best. They gain offensive pressure, then they start going physical demos. But CRR does get the clear, which will give some boost over to Ninjas. And Oli will make another play on 2 of them with the bump on Atto, which was a huge play to clear it yet again. So K-Corp can't establish that offense right now that they love to do, just playing the other half for about 1:30 and just find a way to score after that. But Ninja's clearing it early with some good physical play.
Materia, though, threatening with boost, drops it to Atto. Jorius, I love that positioning from him. Low boost, just wants to keep his car presence in the way, otherwise Atto had a pretty free shot. Again, Jorius low boost into the corner. He's going to have to pick up something that can't last forever. CRR is going to buy his teammate a little bit more time here as he then continues to harass Atto, takes the ball away from him. It seems to be right now that any player on the ball has got low boost. Juicy had boost, but no touch.
Yeah, we're seeing a good bump plays. Here's a give and go. Atto and Juicy just a little bit behind. Back to Vatira, but Jorius will clear that out. The first pass was just a little bit behind, so the whole play kind of fell apart. Jorius got the easy clear. He'll get another big clear here and allow his teammates to gain boost and try and gain control on the blue side of the field. So Oli will take control, but right to Vatira. He's going to go up. No aerial fakes just yet. That's what we expect out of K-Corp, but a good dunk there. But Jorius with the doink will get a little bit of a clear.
80 seconds, as Atto, the 70 seconds, and Atto, as I make a mistake, he does not. From that sidewall, he can just sneak it home with no boost too. Jorius completely flubs it, and Oli, he starts to creep forward, thinking Jorius has this simple touch. He does not, and so that is going to be the first goal for KC.
And we all thought there's no play here. Atto's got no boost. He can't really do anything, but Jorius off the wall. A slight misplay, but credit to Atto with no boost, and now a dunk opportunity. Can he follow it up? He cannot. Vatira with another shot. Juicy and Atto both diving as well. Vatira with the final shot. Can he get the double tap? Squeeze it in near post. No, he goes to the outside post, and K-Corp all of a sudden right back in this.
I mean, I wonder if Atto could have scored that. He has this second bite of the cherry, but CRR's going to fling himself in the way of it. Vatira now just hunting, wanting these bumps, and he keeps his flip. He jumps off to get a bump, realizes, actually, I can just score this myself, lads, and does it on his own. But Atto bumps him up into position.
The team chemistry of K-Corp is just like, what is this? Like, Vatira's trying to wait out for the pass. Atto kind of reads it poorly, but it was an awkward spot. But Vatira gets bumped back into the ball. Heads up play by K-Corp. And we talk about Ninjas doing so well early, but all of a sudden, the last 30 seconds, all K-Corp.
K-Corp's press is going to be the best in the world. And NIP need to do what they can to deal with it. Vatira's now has been bought a little bit of space by his teammate Atto, getting rid of Oli. Batty can get the dunk on it. Who's going to be the first to this ball in the air? Atto bullies Oli out of the way. The 50 goes central. Oli will now catch this. Over Juicy. It's a 2v1. Vatira's the man on the goal line. He cannot keep it away. And who do you want to go for the low 50 drive challenge other than big bad Oli?
Oli beats out one, so CRR knows his job. He's got to go for Vatira, who does dodge that demo rather well and almost gets that 50 out, but it just squeaks in, and Ninjas back on top after this last shaky minute of play. Can they hold out? Vatira's up in the air. He's getting challenged early. Cannot get it around him. CRR, can he get the ball down on the ground? He will. And we have game one going to Ninjas in pajamas.
We've seen NIP come through to these spots before, but have not been able to take any of the open titles so far with this current roster. Jorius last season, he managed to get his for the first time in God knows how long when he was playing for Dignitas along with Jack and Stizzy. So those boys, they know what it feels like, and Carmine Corp, they're incredibly used to it at this point, with Vatira and Atto rocking their Birmingham Major Champion titles. Juicy's got his historically on LAN with Gentlemates over in Copenhagen, not the most recent one, the one before that. So all these players know what these positions are like. He's trying to, as we said, Carmine Corp playing for that first place, little bit of money, and NIP wanting to try to fend off Vitality and lock in their second place seeding.
Yeah, so CRR, just a great opening 2 minutes from him, making two key plays to give Ninjas in Pajamas that 2-goal lead early. And the reason why you want a 2-goal lead early is because K-Corp at any moment can just press you, and they did for the last minute and a half of that game, where they pressed them like crazy, got tons of shots on net, but Ninjas find a way with Oli He just beat out one, and then CRR goes for the physical play. We talked about
sustain that and get a counterattack than it is you taking the game to them. And I think the NIP have got that offensive prowess where they can take the aggression straight to Karmine Corp's front door.
It's always nice when you do a ground dribble too and beat out a K-Corp defender. That doesn't happen that often, so when you do get those moments, the other teammates need to know, all right, we need to score now. Any chance you have against K-Corp, you have to punish them, because otherwise, if you keep these games close, K-Corp will find a way, which they almost did in game one, but Ninjas in Pajamas prevail, and they're going to hope to get an early 2-game lead here. But we'll have to see. Right now, K-Corp, no pressure. Some demo plays coming out. Joris avoids it from Vatira and gets the clear.
That was so well played as well. He was getting bumped in net, got dribbled back into his own 6-yard box, and in the end just goes to in and out save off the sidewall. Lovely play from him. A player shoots, slams it straight into Atto, who he really wanted to get out of the way.
Yeah, we talk about aerial fakes. That's what K-Corp loves to do, but problem was just a little too close to the ball that time. But Vatira's got a chance to flip reset around 1, but CRR is there, and we've seen this with Ninjas time and time again. Always having 2 defenders ready. They'll force out the flip reset early, and then have the other member make the save, and it's worked many times so far. This first 2 games.
Seeing Karmine Corp go for these attacks though on relatively low boost. They're committing very high up when across the board none of their players have over 50. I think that leaves them very susceptible to these counter attacks that you do see happen against them. NIP though, they need to have that vision and they need to go down pitch and steal boost, steal their very limited resources. Oli and Jorius have done so. Juicy does not get bumped by Oli in the same breath as Jorius now onto the ceiling. The shot on target from Vatira. And CRR, goal line heroics from him to keep NIP level.
5 saves now for CRR. He's been on the goal line for every single one of these, it feels like, and just making great save after great save.
Instead he hits it and it ends up going and deflecting off CRR. Does not find its way in. But with no boost, he wasn't to know it, but maybe could have taken a little bit longer. Oli opts to go via the big boost, as does I think CRR there, and Oli had different ideas because CRR steals the boost then goes for the man, and Oli thinks, all right, I'm going to steal the boost then go for the man. Oh, you've already done it. Okay, I guess I'll take the ball here.
Yep, no boost. I'm like, great, what am I going to do with this? Thanks, CRR. Appreciate it, bud.
Jorius now towards that right-hand side with Jorius bumping again. Oli to go long. CRR is up. Can he shoot it? Can he pass it? Drops it low, and Juicy just wide of the goal line can clear it away. Atto up high, a reset, does get caught out by Jorius, doesn't commit the flip to it. CRR, if he can get this on target, it's at least a bit of a threat, but Vatira works his way back just in time. 80 seconds, neither team managing to break each other's deadlock.
And so far, K-Corps have more in the offensive pressure. Here's a double chap. Squeaker by Atto. He almost got it in with the triple. Unfortunately, just a little bit off, but Oli will get the clear. No boost yet again. See what Atto can do. Jorius up early. Has a chance for a flip reset. He doesn't go for it. Goes for the fast shot. Throws the defense. Oh, outside shot. Oli misses just wide. Post and out.
Ah, the goal line dented from multiple attempts. Another one on target. Oli can't get the second. The shot.
Vatira just beating out to CRR. He misses. The Vatira just has to get a good challenge to go midfield for the shot. And just a rotational breakdown. CRR had such a fantastic game going, but one misplay right there, and K-Corp takes the lead.
We've seen these late game comebacks so far, and Jory's going to be continuing on that trend. A great kickoff play, ends in the back corner, and the dunk, you have to dive into CRR. Jory is there immediately, shoots it very center of the net. I think probably a little bit thankful it doesn't get saved, but the heroics from NIP to bring them back level. Late goals being story so far.
CRR making up for his defensive mistake with zero boost, going for the challenge, and only to follow it up, also basically zero boost as well. Ninjas threw everything at that to tie it. Now Atto's got a chance here. He gets it around run, and Joris gets bumped, and Atto hits the double to give K-Corp back the lead.
3 goals in the last 30 seconds. Magnificent play. Atto gets bumped, and it does not phase him. Joris gets bumped, and it opens the net entirely. A tale of 2 bumps, one of them comes out on top. Garmin Corp, 7 seconds to hold.
So Atto just pulled out the Garrett G shot from season 5. Bump to the ceiling, still makes it happen. And quality shot as well. Joris gets the clear here. They need to keep this ball up. Ninjas in pajamas, CRR with limited boost.
Pre-jump.
Atto just gonna throw it on net. Joris keeps it alive though.
Low.
CRR does have boost. It's gonna go to CRR, but Juicy's there.
Ooh.
And this should die down. There it is, K-Corp. Game number 2, tying up the series.
I mean, that was a hectic ending to that game. Game 2 managed to see Casey come out on top, but it really felt like NIP had chances to secure it. They just didn't have the clinical finishing. I feel like there was maybe 4 goals in that game, despite it being a 2-1, that could have gone in total for both sides. But in the end, yeah, Carmine Corp managed to just about take it out on top. 12 shots for them. 6 for Atto, and he gets both the winning goals for Casey.
It was kind of the opposite of game 1, where game 2, the Ninjas playing a lot of defense, and then all of a sudden, for like a minute, they have an onslaught on offense, they score a goal, they have multiple chances, but then K-Corp just finds a way to take the game late. And that's exactly what happened, but on the flip side in game number 1. So both teams kind of feeling each other out right now, and now we're down to virtually a best of 5.
Yeah, either of these sides, as we said earlier on, they're not playing to make the major. They are both in the major. Carmine Corp have locked in that number 1 spot. And NIP, they're fighting just to try to gain a couple of points in vitality, stay that 1 point clear, make sure that they are going to be in that 2nd spot, because gives you know more about the seeding situations than I normally do. I'm not afraid to admit that. How preferential is it to
versus being in the main event. So you want to gain as many points as you possibly can, especially in Europe, where everyone is so tight outside of K-Corp, where just gain as many points as you can wherever you can, just to have a better chance at that World Championship main event. I really don't think they care at all who they play in Boston.
I mean, if you can get points in Boston by going a little bit easier of an opponent, then you're going to be wanting it. But you're right, they just want to be playing and beating whoever they can. Vatira sets up brilliant Rocket League, supported by both his teammates.
And also, I just want to apologize. I basically did a really long answer because I have no idea who the EU team is. So I'm just letting you know that.
You're
now.
normally so good with that.
I didn't have it ready. All right, I'm sorry. Atto, though, has a free shot here. Doesn't take it right away, but will score anyway. And Ninja's getting a little bit too hasty on the offensive side. And Atto just gets a wide open net here. K-Corp already up 2 with 46 on the clock gone.
Either intelligently burning off 1 more second Atto there by popping it up high and then air dribbling it in, or just wanted to be a little bit safer, because if he shoots that wide, he's going to feel like a right silly Billy. Vatira ends up letting that ball go somewhat awry, as now CRR has to dive back into his own half. Ball gets escorted by Oli. Becomes a lot more awkward, especially with bumps like that. It's a miss from Juicy. He does have the reset though, so he can put it back in the center. Lovely play from Karmine Corp, looking incredibly cohesive.
Yeah, I gotta watch out that this first minute K-Corp's been so dominant. They should have probably scored one extra goal there. So Ninjas have to figure this out, but a demo comes out, the physical play, and Oli just gets back in time. But now, K-Corp with the offensive pressure just goes for the shot. No infield pass. Matira, though, going for the flip reset. Also just going to shoot, just trying to force out bad rebounds. Atto double tap. The fake to Juicy. And he somehow finds the 1 pixel where this ball is going to go in.
The fake from Atto is unbelievable. He boosts so high to get out the way. He had Vatira shoot into his back previously. Doesn't want that to happen again. And Juicy nearly has his shot saved, but it ends up being perfection. 3 goals for Karmine Corp in the first minute and a half.
And this is why you just can't be boost starved by K-Corp and be on defense. Because once that happens, the aerial fakes come out all the time by K-Corp, and you can't react when you have limited boost. You also can't challenge those plays, so you just never know what's going to happen. And K-Corp is so good with their comms that they know exactly what they want to do, and they showed it there. And also the shot was just perfect as well. He had barely any space to score that. But K-Corp already up 3 in this game 3.
From the crossbar, they can clear it towards CRR, and they need something to happen relatively soon. They've not really had that much attack so far. They've had 2 shots in total compared to Karmine Corp's 8. They're being shot out 400%, 300% I suppose. 2.5 minutes now. A long clear from CRR. Juicy is back and can get the ball towards the boost, which does not end up spawning for him. CRR's going to be able to steal it above the crossbar. Let's go the ball just for a second. Vatira is incredibly awkward there, but can still just about wrangle the ball away with no pressure.
Yeah, we saw Ninjas, that they had offensive pressure there, but it was usually with one member who had boost, so they really couldn't get a whole lot done. We saw Oli have a chance at a double tap, but he had such a limited boost, he really couldn't do anything with it. So as long as K-Corp can keep those boost totals down, they should be perfectly fine to kind of bleed this clock out and take this win.
And bleeding the clock is going to be easier said than done, as NIP, they've shown what they can do offensively. That's a nice touch central, but CRR, he may wanted the fake there, leaves Oli in an awkward position, who can recover nicely. He has full boost, we can dive into that challenge with Asso.
The ball's going to wedge and just go by the goal. Perfect save there by him. And just, he's so cool and calm. It's just annoying. It's just annoying.
And it must be so frustrating to play against as well. You think
counter-attack there by K-Corp, and their defense was so good that, like, yeah, the ball's on their half, but there was no real threat of a quality shot, and Ninjas really never got one. And finally, there's a chance for them to clear it out and get the counter, and they know Ninjas has to send everyone. They're down 3 with a minute left, so K-Corp just waiting it out, perfectly patient, and they get it done. Vatira with the pre-jump, the give and go. That could have been a great goal by Ninjas. But unfortunately, down 4 with 45, it's probably about time to go next.
Yeah, against any team, you're thinking that this game is done, let alone against Karmine Corp, who have looked relatively infallible. However, they have gained a lot more shots now. They're sitting on 8 NIP, whereas Karmine Corp are now on 12. So they have gained, I think, what's that? They gained 6 shots as opposed to the 4 that KC have got. So KC have got all of the goals to show for it, whereas NIP have none.
Or at least the back half of Game 2, and now Game 3 was just a dominant performance. So it's what you want if you're a K-Corp fan. And if you're a K-Corp fan, you're just sitting in your lounge chair like, oh, this is great. Watching you win, no pressure at all. Watching my boys win some money. It's always nice. But for Ninjas, again, they're only 1 point up on Vitality right now, so they desperately want to get wins wherever they can. Plus, I guess the benefit is no matter win or lose, like if they do make top 4 Ninjas, they won't be on the same side of the bracket. as K-Corp, they would play him in the final. So, but Ninjas, they're not worried about that. They're worried about trying to figure out this K-Corp defense, which it seems like they just can't crack.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of extra time to figure it out as well. They called the timeout. 2-minute timer has begun. So NIP buy themselves one more minute. But earlier on we saw, and I'm still going to rag on them a little bit, BSK not take their timeout, which is just absolutely crazy to me.
Leave them alone. Their split is over. They're not going to Boston.
No, I simply won't. I simply won't. I find it churlish, quite frankly. Carmine Corp, they have to sit through another minute of time. They can think, but LBP has got to speak some confidence into his boys all the way from Australia, staying up. Fair play to LBP for doing that. Staying up to be there for these games. He did them very, very well in Copenhagen at the kickoff LAN.
Yeah.
But they didn't necessarily get the results that they wanted. Carmine Corp did. That's the tale of these two teams so far this season.
Then I would argue for Open 1, I think they were very happy with a Grand Finals going to Game 7 versus K-Corp. They're a brand new roster. And yes, K-Corp is 2/3 of their old roster, but still, like, Ninjas were like, all right, like, it's only up from here. Well, then Open 2 happened, and it didn't go that well for them. Yet, now they're back here against K-Corp, like, in this upper bracket, and now's the time when you have to start to gel. Like, major champions, we want to be world champions. Here's our test. We've had this team together now for 2.5 months. We need to figure this team out now before Boston, and if we can't, obviously, then you try there. But
so far in this series. The defense starts off for KC. They are 2-1 up, game 4. And NIP, they need to begin something after that timeout. They should have a couple more answers.
Yeah, we'll see how these first 2 minutes go. Like, I want to see them better when they're on the blue side of the